And so next up on this discovery of rule breaking, because rules are made to be broken, next up is rhythm, right? We talked about this before as well. Getting into these different kind of pockets where you're cutting to a certain beat of either an audio track that's a song or the vocals in a film. You can basically be cutting to different kind of rhythms that match up the pacing and the emotion of the scene or the video. Now, breaking this rule of keeping this constant rhythm that we're kind of guiding the audience through this journey, we can cut a certain specific rhythm that we've gotten into where we have a certain beat that we're following, where we're going cutting very sequentially. And then we all of a sudden get to a very long cut where we hold that cut, maybe 3, 4, 5 times longer than any of the other cuts that we've made. Doing this consciously is really going to slow things down for the viewer and allow them to really absorb what's going on in that scene, right? So this can be used as basically breaking into a specific moment where we really want the audience to feel what the characters are feeling, what's going on in that scene, or a specific emotion that needs to be absorbed much more slowly, right? Like we talked about before. You're not gonna flash, you actually can flash on the screen. If you can imagine, each frame that we have is correlated to a specific emotion, and that specific emotion, let's say, is one word. So let's say we have a very bright, sunny frame and a happy moment in a scene. If we just flash the word happy for a moment, and then the audience was able to absorb that word and understand that that was the purpose of that specific scene, that specific moment. Now, if the scene was a lot more complex than that, we would be using more of, let's say, a sentence, right? And we would have to leave that sentence on the screen for a little bit longer for the audience to absorb. Now, if we have a very, very important moment that's going to take a lot of reading and a lot of back and forth from the audience to the screen and back, let's say a paragraph, we're not going to flash that really important statement that takes lines and lines and lines of words to really absorb and understand. We're going to leave that paragraph or that important shot on the screen for much longer. So knowing this, we know when to get into the rhythms and when to break this rule for the desired effect of really creating that certain specific moment as the editor that you are curating for the viewer. Woo!